You feel it, you know it. Raww Productions. Sports Talk with Raww.
What's up, people? It's your boy Raww.
We back at it again with his co-host, Real Talk Ricks.
Yes, sir. And first, we're gonna get into the NBA Finals, Game 4.
It's looking good. It's looking good. Phoenix, what happened?
Yeah, what happened
last
exactly?
night? I'm hurt.
What I said Bucks in 7, right? Final score was 109 to 103.
But honestly, we can say what we want. Yes, the Bucks did win last night, but me personally, I honestly feel that the Suns just gave that game away. And the reason why I feel that way, they only won by 6 points. Every game has been decided by 10 points or more. All of a sudden now, the Bucks win a game by 6 points. Chris Middleton had 40 points. Giannis had 26, and they still only won by 6 points. Chris Paul only had 10.
To get more into the stat line, Middleton had 40 points. Giannis had 26. Holiday had 13 and Lopez had 14. And surprising, like I said that usually when Tucker score more than 0, they usually lose. I mean, usually win the game. But this time he had 0 points, but he did have 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He had no turnovers, so I mean he played okay. But
hey, he's a defensive stopper. But that's all he's good for.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will give you this though, he gives them the heart and soul of that team right now. He's like what Udonis Haslem is to the Heat. You know, he comes out there, for real.
It's true.
It's literally what it is. It's like what Draymond Green is right now to the Warriors. He not going out there trying to, he locker room. He going to motivate you during halftime, during timeouts. He going to get on the court.
And he going to
go
bust it.
He going to do what he got to do. So I give him that. He's scrappy, and he going to play hard every single time he's in there.
And to look at the Suns stat line, Crowder had 15. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, not bad. 3 blocks, 3 steals. He did a little bit of everything. Good for him.
Yeah, he was all around.
Aiden, he had 6 points, which is really pathetic.
That's
but he had 17 rebounds and 5 assists. So I respect him with the 3 blocks. With the 3 blocks. But come on, bro. We expect more out of Aiden than honestly, 6 measly points. I mean, he got to do more. He got to do a double-double.
But he feeds his offense comes through Chris Paul. He's like what DeAndre Jordan is just. To the Clippers back there in their prime.
Not like DeAndre though. He more offensive, bro. So it's kind of.
But we never really get to see it because he's pretty much scoring on transition plays.
Yeah, but he be shooting sometimes too.
Yeah, but he ain't shooting nothing farther than 18 feet.
I'll tell you what. Respect the Booker, bro. With the 42 from 10 points last game to 42. That's what's up. I gotta give it to him, man. He left it all out on the court. But Chris Paul, bro, 5 turnovers. 10 points, bro. He did have 7 assists, but 5 turnovers. And then, man, that game cost him turnover, bro. Him just trying to change directions, and he lost the ball. It did kind of look like he just gave the game up, like.
But you got to think about it. Really, overall, the Suns had 17 turnovers total, while the Bucks only had 5. And you got to realize those 17 turnovers turned into 24 points.
Right.
That's a big transition, especially consistent thinking about that the Bucks only had 5 turnovers. It only turned into 5 points. Right. So you really got to look at that. That's terrible.
Another thing I would say, Mikal Bridges, he played poorly again too. 7 points, 5 rebounds. Last game he had 4 points and 2 rebounds or something like that.
My boy showed up in game 2 and he just fell out of character.
Michael has to understand, bro. He is a pivotal part of this team. Like
for real,
he gotta really show up.
He is a true swing man, and he really need. I feel like honestly, if he can get going early, then they'll have a great game. But I feel like you got to give him more touches. I'm not saying you got to give him as many touches as Booker or as many as Chris Paul, but you at least got to give him a consistent amount of touches to make sure that his offense is flowing in the right direction. It's going to boost his confidence. It's going to get him going. If you don't do that, then the Suns going to struggle, and I noticed that in 3 and in 4.
Hey, but we knew the game was over when Giannis blocked 8.
Oh, here we go.
When he ran down there, he blocked that alley-oop, bro. You knew it was over.
Bro, number one.
Besides the Chris Paul turnover.
Let me defend the Suns right now because I know he gonna grind this block into the ground like everybody else on ESPN and everywhere else in sports platforms. Number one, DeAndre Ayton was off balance, catching the ball. And then, it was just, he all like this. Come on, man. You really just going to give him credit?
Like that.
I'm going to give him credit, though. So let me ask you this then. Which block was better, the Giannis block or the LeBron block against the Warriors 5 years ago? Which one was better?
More pivotal, it was LeBron. But
No, I'm talking about which one is the more athletic block, the Giannis block or the LeBron?
Oh, LeBron. Because he came from behind and he got that, bro. But I got to give it to Giannis because he did hustle, bro. He got over there quick.
No, he cut the pick and roll off.
He got over there quick and he went vertical, bro.
Yeah, I give him that.
He did that.
I'm never going to take away from Giannis's skills.
Exactly.
I will say this because I'm very hard on Giannis. He is one-dimensional, but one thing I can't give him credit for, he is a true freak of nature. He earned that nickname Greek Freak because he's a freak of nature when it comes to athleticism, but the way he cut that, I'm literally.
Yeah, he got
He cut that pick and roll off and blocked it. I give him that.
He showed us athleticism. So going on, into our top 10, we've been talking about that. So now today, we're going to present our top 10 NBA players.
I've been waiting for this all week. Because I got to hear who his top 10 is. Because when he heard mine, he was like, oh, man, you out of line. But me personally, these are my top 10. These players not only... All right, my number one player in the NBA, and we all know this. We all know this to be fact. For the Brooklyn Nets, number 7, Kevin Durant.
Boy, you out of line.
How? Name somebody better than Kevin Durant.
Scottie Pippen.
No.
Matter of fact, look.
Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is in the Hall of Fame. We don't give him these credit.
Time out. Look,
who did Kevin Durant just have beef with?
We had a fan of the show.
But who is he not?
We had a fan of the show give us his answer on his top 5 and what he think about Kevin Durant.
I need to hear what he said because if he said anybody other than Kevin Durant is the number one player in the NBA, shame on him. Shame on him right now.
This message is from Day Day.
KD is an alpha in his own way. Just how they have tiers, like tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. KD is his own tier of alpha. Meaning, like I say, he's the Scottie Pippen of the NBA, of what Jordan and LeBron is on the same tier. Everybody know that. Without Scottie, bro, Jordan wouldn't have all. Without Dennis, Jordan wouldn't have all this, bro. And basically, that's what I'm saying. When KD get the ball, he show up. When Scottie get the ball, he show up. They both alphas in their own way, but bro, they not head alphas to lead a team like LeBron James, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a Damian Lillard, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that motherfucking dog in you, bro. I'm not saying KD don't, bro, cause he does, bro. But I just know, bro. You had James Harden and Russell Westbrook and Serge Ibaka and you know what I'm saying, bro? You had that, bro. And you tell me you couldn't lead that? LeBron would have had that, bro. He would have led that team, bro. The Thunder would have won something. He go over there with some shooters. Curry, what he is, he's an alpha, bro. You know what I'm saying? He does that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you go over there with an alpha, then you go with Klay Thompson. That's, you know what I'm saying? He ain't no alpha, bro, but he's a dog in his. You know what I'm saying? He's a second tier. He a third tier, really. You know what I'm saying? He gonna show up. He a shooter. So that's what, you know what I'm saying. You got KD that can do what he can do. Curry, that's an alpha. Then, you know what I'm saying, you got old boy. Shit, hey, you better, you know what I'm saying. Then you got the role players. So that's how I feel about KD.
So after hearing Day Day give his discussion about why he think KD is not an alpha and he's an alpha in his own of a different tier, what do you think about Day Day's comment?
First and foremost, where is everybody coming from with this reference that KD is nothing more than a Scottie Pippen? No disrespect to Scottie Pippen at all. Scottie Pippen is a great player. Yes, he did play on a team with Jordan. Yes. But the point is, if you take Scottie Pippen and put him on any other team when he was in his prime. Not that shitty, not that stuff with Portland. Not, oh gosh, so not with Houston. No, not though. But I'm talking about Scottie Pippen in his prime. Scottie Pippen is an alpha male. He is a person that can lead a team to a championship. Even when Jordan wasn't there, he was still taking the Bulls to the playoffs consistently. Yes, they didn't have that extra player to get him over the hump, because you got to realize, Scottie Pippen, he's a consistent scorer, but, they just had nothing but role players outside of them, too.
Well, I mean, that's what your team mostly consists of anyway.
But the point I'm trying to make is KD is in a tier that should be with Jordan and LeBron. No. And the reason why I say that is, look what he did when he was with Golden State. LeBron couldn't even hold him. LeBron was getting scored on consistently by KD.
Well, I never said that LeBron was the greatest defender either.
But he is a top defender in the league. Even though he's never won Defensive Player of the Year, he's still a top defender. Because Kobe never won Defensive Player of the Year either, but he was a top defender.
True. But LeBron takes his team all the way. He's a true leader. KD is.
Yeah, and he's taken them all the way several times. And how many rings does he have? Just 4.
Is a mental. He mentally gets to his players. He talks to them, and he gets them motivated. I don't think KD does that.
We don't know. We've never seen it on the solid, but I believe he's capable of doing so. He's capable of doing so.
Capable of complaining. And
I believe every player complains.
Look, this is why I say KD is not an alpha in. He's not like LeBron or Jordan.
Okay.
That year they was up 3-1.
Oh man.
If LeBron was up 3-1, they would have won. If Jordan was up 3-1, they would have won. Kobe, you name it, any of those guys would have won, bro.
Okay.
So,
but look at the level of talent that the Warriors had. We can't compare. That team right there was on a whole nother level. Yeah, they was up 3-1. I get it. You got Russell Westbrook.
No, but that team, I mean, it was good, but they was up 3-1, bro. They had Westbrook. I think they had Serge Ibaka still.
They did. They had Steven Adams.
KD. And then my thing is, y'all up 3-1. Yeah, y'all lost the series, but that incoming year, they had Oladipo on the team, and then they had got I think Sabonis or somebody.
They did. They got Sabonis out the draft.
And KD was still able to be on that team and meet the cap and all those things. So my thing is, why not stay, bro? Y'all would have made a run with all them new players and with
You got a point, but we
Westbrook.
can't. Obviously, whatever him and Westbrook was going through at the time, it couldn't be salvageable. And I hate that it happened because the Thunder should have won a title, at least one.
They should have
at least one.
And then not to even just piggy off of that, but to piggyback back to what was it? 11 or something when they went and they faced the Heat.
Yeah. No, that was just poor coaching. They was young. That was poor coaching.
They was
sorry.
young. Scott Brooks not.
I'm not saying Scott Brooks is a bad coach. He just got out-coached by the AV guy. Okay. He just got out-coached by the AV guy. There's nothing else to really say.
Maybe
he got out-coached because really Pat Riley was still pulling the strings, so he got out-coached by a veteran coach.
Maybe, but I feel like honestly, KD should have did better in that series as a leader.
He won MVP that year.
He probably did, but shit. Look at Harden. He won MVP, and then look what he do. These guys, bro, they are secondary men, bro. They're not the alphas of the NBA.
Oh wow.
They not. Wow. So now we can get back into that top 10.
Okay. I got LeBron in number 2. So the reason why I have LeBron in number 2 is because he has been consistent year after year after year. But you got to pass the torch on to somebody. And who else can you pass the torch on to but the other player who has the same amount of skill set as you do, and that's KD. Number 3, Steph Curry. Steph Curry is without a doubt one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, and he's not even done in the game yet. No one else I can say right now can outshoot Steph Curry besides one other person, and that's Dame Lillard.
You don't think
Trae Young still got a long way to go. He's not in my top 10, but he says a long way to go, and he is climbing. He is climbing. I will give him that. Number 4, believe it or not, is a surprise to everybody. Me, and that's Spider Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is elevating his game every single year, and he is bringing the Utah Jazz to all new heights each and every year. Well, I say right now, if Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell can keep that team in nucleus intact, I guarantee they'll get a ring. Now, they not the new Stockton and Malone, but I guarantee you this. They will have a ring eventually if they keep that nucleus and core together. I would say that without a doubt. And my number 5 is Joel Embiid. What he's done for the Sixers organization, injury or not, he has shown up every time he's healthy. Even when he's not healthy, he will play on one leg. He will play with one arm. He will do everything he needs to do to prove to the NBA, and not only to the NBA, but to the rest of the NBA players to take notice and understand he is the last true big man in the league.
What?
Seriously.
Oh, man. All right, so that's your top 5, right?
That's my top 5.
So my top 5 is a little different, but all these people are the top 5 in NBA in my opinion at their position. So for my point guard, I would have Damian Lillard, best point guard in the NBA.
Okay, I have to agree with that. I just feel that Steph Curry has more accolades.
But see,
that's why I chose him.
I put Steph as a 2 guard because of his shooting prowess,
and plus he can play off the ball. So that's actually smart.
That's my 2. And then at 3, of course, you got to go LeBron, bro. He's the best small forward.
You can't go
not KD, LeBron.
Right, but see, on mine, I got KD as my power forward because he can still rebound and he has the length. Because we really don't know how tall he really is. They put him on paper as like what 6'9",
6'9".
But I know he's about
like
7 feet.
Really,
he got to be 7 feet
Yeah.
because LeBron 6'8", and when they talk to each other, KD way up here somewhere.
So for my 4, of course, I got Giannis, the Greek freak, the dude that you keep disrespecting. Yeah, the dude that made that block. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one-dimensional man. That's his real nickname.
He went one-dimensional last night. And he won one-dimensional the night before that.
Hey, look. Hey, tell him, hey, shoot them free throws a little faster. Hey, I wish you could do that.
Got him on that one. Hey. But for my 5, I got Jokic. I take Jokic over Embiid, bro.
Hey, I like Jokic. He's in my top 10. Jokic has a good all-around game.
He's a point big, bro. He's a guy that can dribble. He can play point. He can play whatever any of the 5 positions, basically, bro.
Hey, you know what I'm surprised about? Neither one of us has Harden or Luka in our top 5. I'm surprised.
But see, look, now, since it's 10 players on my reserves, I got Harden as my 6th man. I have Harden coming off the bench as my 6th. And there's my 7, which would be the 2 guard. I got Mitchell.
That's nice.
And then at the 3rd spot, it'd be Kawhi. Kawhi be great coming off the bench, bro. Behind them, and then...
Is he going to play, though? Is he gonna play? He always
that's why he reserved.
He always gonna find a reason not to play.
That's why he reserved.
Where's his heart?
You know who I got that for? AD.
Oh, you got street
Name
clothes?
a better power forward though.
What you mean? You got Jason Tatum.
Nah.
You can do Miles Turner.
Miles Turner over AD?
Hey, look. Miles Turner don't get enough credit out there, bro. He does not get enough credit out there. Indiana is small. He don't get enough credit for what he does. Hell, I believe that Vucevic is, you know what I'm saying, in Chicago. He on the same level as AD. He just don't get enough credit because AD made a name for himself when he was with the New Orleans Pelicans as a game changer. He got to LA, now he can just Cadillac and just ride on LeBron's coattails. So now he just became a secondary player.
I can respect that. I respect your opinion on that with about Vucevic. As my 10 or 5, I got Embiid coming off the bench.
If Embiid, I feel like if Embiid can go a whole season without getting hurt, I'm telling you, he could probably win MVP. Seriously, if he can go a whole season without getting hurt, and I'm not saying like he can. It's okay to miss a couple of games. I know he don't have to play like every back-to-back. I get that, but if he can play a whole season, I don't care if it's 72, 82 games, whatever they got lined up at this point, because I don't even know with the NBA anymore. If we playing 72 from now on, or we going back to 82, whatever the case may be. If he can give me at least 65 games, I guarantee he can win MVP.
Yeah.
At least 65.
So who's your 5 reserves?
Oh, man. My 5 reserves, you're going to love this. So I got Damian Lillard as my 6th man. Now, when you talk about a true spark off the bench, that is it right there.
He should be your number 1.
Because anybody who can be instant offense, that is him right there. That is true instant offense. Mm-hmm. And then I got James Harden as my 2 guard. Yeah, because guess what? Old ball dominant James Harden, you need to come off the bench sometimes and just realize, hey, sometimes you ain't got to take 50 shots to win the game. Yeah. You don't always. Yeah. I want him to come off the bench because I don't want him to have all that pressure on him. Because I feel like if the pressure is on him and the game is on the line, hey, he gonna fold like a lawn chair, and I can't deal with it. Because I never forgave you for the 13 turnovers. It still hurts to this day. Still hurts. I'm sorry.
I can't forgive him for game 6 and 7 when Chris Paul went out.
Yeah, and then for my small forward, I got Luka. So as you can see my consistency here as far as like my bench, no defense. None. No defense. And I just named James Harden. I just named Luka, but I'm talking about instant offense. Mm-hmm. Then they say defense win championships, but that's in the starting 5. The defense is there. So then my power forward, I got Jason Tatum. Once again, still we're going with instant offense here. Okay? I'm looking for somebody when I pull my reserves out, I can still just come in there and I can just keep the ball flowing. I can keep the ball moving around. Hey, now my 5, now I have Jokic, because that right there, he's gonna control the game. He's gonna make sure that everybody's where they need to be. He can play inside, he can play outside, he can set up people. He's a great passer. He can do everything that you need a true center to do, and he can do everything at any other position that you need him to do. And now, I got a little question for you, though. With these all-stars that you got, who would be your coach?
Who would be my coach?
Who would be your coach to control all of these egos on that one team? Who's going to be your coach?
Popovich.
I like that.
Can't go wrong with Pop, bro.
I like that.
He gonna put on the right system, and they all gonna have to be maintained well. And he gonna make sure everybody be healthy, bro.
That is true. He gonna keep them in line. That's one thing I know for sure. He will keep them in line. Now, you probably won't like my answer as far as like who I want my coach to be. Believe it or not, I would actually think that Rick Carlisle will be my coach. And the reason why I say Rick Carlisle is because he's dealt with these kind of egos before. And I feel like he's very laid back, but he's actually very forward with his teaching and also his methods of how he can actually keep the team intrigued with the game and keep them going. Because I feel like Steve Kerr just sits on the bench and just lets the team just dictate themselves. He doesn't want to get out there and actually try to control what's going on. I would pick Doc Rivers also, but his track record is not all that great. I feel like he's more of a player's coach.
Look, but his roster going to be up 3-1. They're going to lose.
Yeah, if I had Doc Rivers, but no, hey, you're still good though, Doc. But hey,
it is what it is. We got to mention Day top 5. The customer, well, not customer, but person that called in. His top 5 is LeBron.
Okay, I like that.
KD.
I damn sure respect that.
Kawhi.
Oh no.
Joel Embiid.
Okay, I can go with that.
Damian Lillard. Okay. And then he said he tied with AD.
So basically, one of them is gonna be his 6th man. Damian Lillard or AD is gonna be his 6th man. I can respect that. I can respect that. Because one of them, well, really, it's gonna have to be AD because he need a point guard. He has no point. He just went all bigs. When you look at his list, he just went all big. So number one, you gonna beat the crap out of this team because number one, when you got all bigs like that, who gonna really keep up with all these smaller guards? Nobody on here. And then you got old street clothes right here. AD, he ain't street clothes. What Charles Barkley call that boy? Hey,
really, he got like 3 street clothes on it.
3 street clothes. Hey, you gotta have somebody who can stay on there longer than 30 minutes.
Press box.
Yeah, you gotta have somebody on that starting five that can stay in the game longer than 30 minutes.
At home tweeting.
Hey, probably he going out with a toe injury quick.
AD's in his street clothes.
Yeah, he ain't even gonna suit up. He ain't even got to worry about it.
Yeah, that's not gonna work, bro.
Day. I respected you. I respect your input, but that top 5, man, come on, bro. You could have did better than that. You ain't have Steph. You ain't have Harden. Come on, man, nothing.
Exactly.
But one thing I can say, out of all 3 of us, nobody really had a defensive player on that. Well, at least you had Kawhi. At least you had that. But,
Kawhi.
Yeah, if he's healthy. But, hey, that takes into a factor. That takes into account.
Well, with all that being said, people, I would love for y'all to drop y'all top 10 players down in the comments.
Hey, I would love it.
And tell us what you think, which team would win. Would Corey's team win or would my team win if they was going against each other?
Hey, you know mine going to win automatic. Automatic, because guess what?
I highly doubt it.
All right, because when you start putting them, when you start subbing in players, that's when they get real.
Yeah, okay.
And that's why I know I'm going to win.
You seen my bench. It's awesome. So, I want to get into the colleges that's been underappreciated and just athletes that's out there that go to HBCUs. I really like that Deion Sanders went to Jackson State and did what he did to give the HBCU schools exposure.
They got great players out there too, man. Every last one of them.
Man, when you look at the list of players that's coming from HBCUs in history, or even just FCS schools for that matter, because they're all on the same level. Most of the players that's in the NFL actually comes from those schools on the FCS level. They really don't come from FBS, especially your superstar players. Okay. You look back at your quarterbacks, and even just look, Trey Lance, he just came from North Dakota State. Yeah. You had
Steve McNair. He came from Alcorn State.
Yeah. You had what's the other guy that came from North Dakota State?
Oh, you talking about Carson Wentz?
I mean, he had a decent season. So the only person that came from a good school that was a 5-star athlete, went to a Power 5 school, which was Georgia, is Matthew Stafford, and he's a starting quarterback. If you look back at it, everyone else, bro, pretty much, they went through some kind of controversy to get to where they were. I mean, of course, some student athletes, they transferred or whatever, to go to like a major school, like for instance, like Cam Newton. At first he started out at Florida, and then he went to Glenn, college, and then he came back. He had to go to Auburn. But I'm just thinking, like, look at the HBCUs and small colleges that most of your athletes come from. Chad Johnson didn't go to a big school. He started out.
I just found that out too. And Shannon Sharp didn't go to. He went to Savannah State.
Yeah, exactly.
So that just goes to show you that. I forgot what school he went to. He went to a little small.
Yeah, he went to a small school too. Jerry Rice went to a small school. So when you start looking at the past, bro, everybody goes to a small school pretty much. So now I don't understand, like, why, these schools don't get the exposure that they need. I mean, I feel like, and you can look at players and you can see there's not much difference when they're actually on the field from this school that was FCS versus this school that was FBS versus an HBCU school going against Ohio State, Alabama. Now, my thing, Alabama are pulling in better tier players.
So let me ask you this. I don't mean to cut you off. So do you feel that these schools have better players, but they just don't get the recognition because of the boosters or the money? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's the money, and then you also got to look. Also, money means television. How often do you see a TSU or a Southern on TV? You don't really see them often.
You don't really see it at all, honestly.
So that means they don't get the exposure. But now with Deion, what Deion's doing, he's allowing, the FCS schools to get more exposure, especially the HBCUs like Jackson State, because now they're on TV and people is actually thinking, like, oh man, I got to see them. And then he's also getting more exposure to the student athletes that they recognize, like, I don't got to go to Florida. I don't got to go to Miami.
That is true.
I can go to Jackson State.
So another thing that I've always wondered, and I probably need to do some research on it too. So when they start doing the name, image, and likeness, when they start paying the players, do the FCS players get paid as well? Because I know the only game that I've ever seen where it's like, like HBCUs on TV has always just been like the Bayou Classic.
Right.
That's the only game I've ever seen around like, Thanksgiving time. That's the only one, Grambling State versus Southern. So do they get paid?
That's a good question, but I was actually looking at an episode with Deion Sanders in it on YouTube the other day, and he was saying how most of the HBCU student athletes, they actually got to work when they in the off season.
Oh man,
they actually got to go make their own money. They got to go work at McDonald's, work wherever, versus these students that's at USC or Texas or whatever. They can't even make no money. But now since they are allowing them to do it, it's a great thing because now you're not at school broke and just on the scholarship. But even then, even if I get a scholarship at TSU, my scholarship's not gonna be like my scholarship at Texas because the TSU scholarship it's not gonna come with as many funds and things, bro, to back me. And then come on, bro, we all know that them big schools paying them players under the table.
Hey, but I want you to know, we really gonna see the boosters now. If we didn't see them then, we definitely gonna see them now because they're gonna come out in droves now, trying to make sure that these players get the proper funds that they need. So with that, I'm wondering, like, do they have a cap or do they have like a set pay that they get for using their image and likeness?
I'm not really sure. But I just think it's very beneficial for the students,
I think it's more beneficial for the schools.
Well, yeah, but now if you put my name on that jersey,
but you know
I
how many
make money off of it.
But do you know how many more jerseys you're gonna sell now that you can put my name on the back?
Exactly.
Of it?
But even now, I can have endorsements.
Yeah, but a small cut.
I think the only bad thing about it is it's gonna be students that's gonna get jealous because sometimes you're gonna get this guy who's gonna sign with Nike, and they're gonna be jealous like, oh man, he got this.
Well, honestly, I feel like they shouldn't do that. I feel like endorsements they shouldn't get, but I feel like the school should just do it that way.
But because they gotta pay them. They gotta pay them for their likeness, their names, whatever they put their name on. They gotta pay.
Yeah,
them.
but you can't have like no shoe in college, like these the air, whatever player may name gonna be.
I don't know
you can't do none of those.
That,
but because I feel like in college, schools already have like Under Armour, Nike, Adidas. They already have contracts, so they can't do anything in that format. I feel like to really just boost up their profit margins. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I feel like I can't go out here and give one player $1,000 and then just give another player like $100.
Well,
how is it all balanced out?
I
Because
think
that O lineman is not gonna get that same recognition as that wide receiver who made the game-winning play. But what about that offensive tackle that just made the game-winning block to make sure that running back or that wide receiver can even get open?
Yeah.
It all works together because people don't realize. Football and basketball, there is no I in team. You need all the pieces in play for everything to work.
Well, see, understand this, though. I think that there's an actual rate that every player gets. Now, whatever you get to go on top of that, like as far as your likeness or how often they're using your image, because, like, if you're the quarterback of the team, most likely you're going to get probably a little bit more paper.
Of course,
because
you're the face. You're the face of the team.
Stadium. You're gonna be in the game day books and whatever else.
That is true.
But to move on from that topic, I want to talk about how the NFL structure doesn't even help the HBCUs as far as exposure, or the FCS schools for that matter. See, the exposure, it works in a way where it kind of benefits all the big, I want to be honest, white schools. You think about it, when you go to the scouting combine, it's mostly always your Ohio States, your U of H's, your Michigans, or whatever school you wanna name that's big and white. Mostly Power 5 as well. But to me, I think the NFL should have like some kind of combine for FCS school levels or whatever. So,
I don't like the fact that the FCS schools are not even invited to the combine, and then a lot of the major schools, the kids opt out of the combine and just have pro days.
Right.
I feel like if no matter where you're from, going into the draft, everybody needs to attend the combine. Everybody should be allowed to attend the combine. You shouldn't be just invited, because you did this, because you don't know what diamond in the rough you might come across.
And that's true.
I don't like the fact that
you know
they get to
you
pick
know
and
what's so
choose.
interesting about that, bro? Like I said, 50% of the NFL, they come from low rounds or being undrafted.
Yeah. I feel like it's more Pro Bowlers and more Hall of Famers that came in the lower rounds than it is in the first round. Maybe because they were under a microscope in the first, second, and third round. I don't know, but
I think it's just to have that chip on their shoulder, and then a lot of them, they come from low end schools, and they come from low income neighborhoods too.
you know what? I need to look up and see who is the highest, HBCU. Who was the highest player draft? I think it's Steve McNair. I'm not sure. It's either Steve McNair or Michael Strahan on that one, but I believe it's Steve McNair because
I'm not
that's
sure.
that's a good thing to look up just to see because I forgot what's the other wide receiver? Sterling Sharp. I believe he came from a small school too, because you got Sterling Sharp, you got Shannon Sharp, and then you have Michael Strahan, you have who else came from a small school that just really made a great impact? Everybody knows about Jerry Rice. Every last one of them are Hall of Famers.
So to look more into it, Walter Payton came from the HBCU.
Everybody
Jerry
knows
Rice,
Sweetness.
Deacon Jones, Ed Too Tall Jones,
Greatest end. Greatest defensive tackle.
Very Little, George Lloyd,
Man.
Steve McNair. So all of these players are Hall of Fame players.
Every last
You can't
one.
tell me that all of these players, all of the players that was in college was only going to big schools back then.
That is true.
That's not true.
That is true.
So what shift happened to where, they didn't get the recognitions for those schools or whatever, for the NFL not to be looking in that area?
We're going to have to do some research and dig deeper on that one. That's a very good topic you just brought up right there, because I feel like in order to have a fair shot, I believe everybody should have an equal opportunity. And if they're not getting it at these HBCUs and they feel like they have to go to these bigger schools to get noticed, then that just makes the other smaller schools feel inferior, and they shouldn't, because they have star athletes just like anybody else.
Right.
So that's a very good topic.
And just to piggy off of that, I want to talk about just the NFL players stepping up and becoming more like the NBA players. And what I mean by that is the NBA players, bro, they get what they want. They have a whole NBA association, player association, and when they want something to happen, it happens. Pretty much, bro, to be honest, the players run the league. So
they're supposed to, and that's it, because they are the ones that's making. If it isn't for them, we wouldn't have the NFL. But I don't mean as far as I'm not talking about the owners and stuff like that, because I feel like honestly in the NFL the owners have too much power to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The players need to have a bigger voice.
Can you say that the NFL players run the league? No, they really don't. You think about it. If what Kaepernick did at the time, from him kneeling and all that, if they ran the league, the players would have been more behind them. He would have been had a job. But even just the different instances of bringing in different players and coaches for that matter. And I want to say this: I think that we have to figure out a way to get more black coaches in the NFL, because
they tried everything with the Rooney Rule and everything. I don't know why it's not working.
And I'm gonna tell you why it's not working. It's because they're not the black athletes that's in there. They're not in the corporate part of the NFL.
That is
when
true.
you think about who's in general management, it's white people.
And
then it's white people that don't even know nothing about football and never took a snap of football.
And the saddest part is there are still to this day in 2021 there are no black majority owners in the NFL, and that is sad. And it's only one in the NBA. And the only reason why he's the owner is because we know who he is, and that's because it's Michael Jordan.
Right.
And it's come on. You telling me all these billionaires that are black in this world, I'm talking about from America all the way to Africa. You telling me nobody? If Shad Khan can own a team, I know a black billionaire can own one. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Jay-Z, Puffy, Kanye, Russell Simmons, anybody.
That's too much right, and then it's a lot of political controversy which we'll get into later on that topic as well. But I definitely believe that it's just we just need more black people in the corporate part of the NFL.
That is true.
To bring in black scouts, black coaches, and just
honestly,
different people
I
overall.
think the only way that's gonna happen is if we have a black commissioner, and I don't see Roger Goodell stepping down anytime
But
soon.
you know what? I think if the players take a pledge and if they all do things at a step, like for instance, when Kaepernick kneeled, like if they actually had a full plan for this, like, well, if this don't go this way, then we're gonna take it to this level. If this don't go this way, then we gotta take it to this level, and then things will start working as it should. And I think that's what just gotta happen. Yeah. And just to say that, I mean, you look at the NBA. I want to say Harden is a great example. He got what he wanted. He said, I don't want to play for the Rockets no more. He pretty much made the Rockets trade him.
The team he wanted to go to.
He got to pick the team he wanted to go to. He did everything that the Rockets pretty much asked of him. Now, are we happy as fans? No. But in fairness, the players should be able to have that kind of power because it's all about revenue and he's making the money for the team. So be fair to him.
So now let me ask you this, because I know this might sting a little. Do you feel that because Deshaun Watson tried to voice his his dissatisfaction with the team, do you feel that's what caused all of these so-called allegations?
Yeah.
I'm not now. Look, I want to let you know right now, ladies. I don't agree with anything that Deshaun Watson did because wrong is wrong. I don't agree with it at all. But I feel like everything that started coming forward until he voiced his opinion saying, I don't want to be here. Until he started voicing his frustration, now all of a sudden, all these allegations come out. And I'm not saying that, hey, he is, innocent, but I don't believe he's all the way guilty of what he's being accused of.
Right.
And I don't, and I want to talk about this. If you have an opinion or if you want to voice your opinion about that, I want to know, because I feel like look, Deshaun Watson, at one point was a great role model in the city. I don't know what kind of skeletons he keep in his closet, but it's funny how he's been with the team for 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, about 4 seasons.
And all of a sudden now that he says, after he signed this deal, hey, look, I don't want to be here. Oh, yeah, now he's a rapist, like out of nowhere. But yet, he didn't get scrutinized as hard as Ben Roethlisberger. He didn't get scrutinized as hard as any other of these players has been accused of these false accusations as well. Well, I can't really say that they're false. I apologize. That's wrong. That's incorrect. Of these allegations, because it's funny how 1 minute we hear about it, now all of a sudden we don't hear anything about it at all. Yeah. So it's either is what's going on? Like, are the women coming forward? Are they dropping the charges? Like, what's going on at this point? So we know, because honestly, I'd rather just the Texans just cut him and just cut their losses and move forward.
Cut him now.
They might as well, because honestly, nobody wants to deal with that circus. If he gets picked up by another team, nobody wants to deal with that circus.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Because honestly, at this point, he looks guilty.
From a business standpoint, bro,
he looks guilty. It's bad. It's bad for your organization.
Even if he's not guilty and he don't want to play for the Texans, realistically, bro, you're not cutting him. You know why? Because he's a top five quarterback.
I'm sorry.
You gonna trade? You gonna
wrong
trade him?
Is wrong. If these allegations are true, you're not gonna keep him on the team. You're not gonna keep him on the team.
Well, if the allegations true, it's not gonna matter. But if they're not true, then you finna get like 4 first-round picks, a player or two. You gonna hold out until you get the best deal.
You still want to deal with the bad publicity behind what he's bringing to the table.
I mean, if you look at it, the Texans don't even mention him no more. It's like Deshaun is just a person in the back and like a janitor.
Well, because they have to move forward because they don't know where the case is going.
They already have moved forward. They have. That's why they got like 4 quarterbacks.
Either way it go, I feel like his career and his reputation is tarnished. So they might as well just cut their losses now. Honestly, it's like how Michael Vick was with the Dogs. You can't You can do what you can. You can apologize so much, but at the end of the day, they only see you as what they want you to see you as. And right now, Deshaun Watson looks like nothing more than a rapist. The bottom line. So you might as well just cut your losses.
I disagree, but do you think this tarnishes this player's career, Richard Sherman?
911, what are you reporting?
I need officers to my house now. My husband is drunk and threatening to kill himself.
Stop. What's the address? Are there any weapons? Stop. There's
no gun. I'm saying there are no weapons, ma'am. There are no weapons.
You need to stop interrupting me so I can get the information I need to get officers expedited.
I need officers here now.
What's he doing that you think he's going to harm himself?
He's being aggressive. He has sent text messages. I took the keys out. They're in your car. He's trying to leave now in the house. He's being aggressive. He's wrestling with my uncle. He's threatening to kill himself. He has sent text messages to people saying he's going to hang himself. He's saying that if the police show up, so please don't shoot is what I'm asking.
Okay, wait. Say that again.
He has no weapon.
He says if the police show up,
he said if the police show up, that he'll try to fight them. So they need to understand that he is.
Okay. Has it been physical with anybody there? You said he's trying to fight your uncle?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
How has it been physical?
He just tried to fight him.
Okay, trying to fight somebody and actually being
yes,
physical
is
two different things. How has it been physical?
He's pulling. It's a 2016 black Mercedes. Richard, please stop. Richard, please stop. Please stop.
Is that a sedan, SUV?
It's just a black sedan Mercedes SUV.
Okay.
He's not going to be able to get out the gate. I cut it off.
What do you mean you cut it off?
I cut the gate. We live behind it. It's Richard Sherman. Like, ma'am, this is like a emergency. I need officers here now.
Listen to me. I'm handling this. You need to stop telling me that.
Okay, but what I'm
not going to slow help down. Talking to me is not going to slow help down.
Okay, well, what I needed to know is that he
What's your name?
My name is Ashley Sherman.
Do you know what his date of birth is?
3/30/88.
Okay, slow down so I can understand you. What's the date of birth?
March 30th, 1988.
Does anybody need an ambulance there? You said it was physical.
No, we don't need an ambulance.
Okay. And he does not have any weapons or access to weapons?
No. No.
Okay, and how much has he had to drink tonight?
2 bottles.
2 bottles of what?
Ma'am. A vodka and Hennessy.
Okay, hard alcohol.
It's alcohol. He's intoxicated.
Okay, sir. I'm only going to talk to one person, so please put the phone down and talk to Ashley.
Okay, is the sheriff on the way?
Okay, listen, it's over on dispatch, okay? Talking to me is not going to slow anything else down.
First off, the 911 dispatcher, and this is from my own experience of being a dispatcher, was horrible. You should have got straight to it. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Dispatch the officers. You asking all these extra questions and stuff, and I just think she was just extra ratchet, bro. Like, you're not really helping. You're not calming Ashley down and all those things. And at the same time, I mean, why are they making it like out to tomorrow? Oh, Richard Sherman did domestic violence and this and that.
ESPN, in Bleacher Report, I'm so disappointed in how y'all promoted that story as if to say that he was out here beating someone. The man was drunk. He was intoxicated, which is wrong, okay? Well, pretty much he has his own prerogative to do what he wants. But the fact that he's going through mental issues because he's intoxicated, the man was trying to kill himself, not trying to hurt somebody else. Right. The man was intoxicated, and they're trying to stop him from going out driving drunk. And she's trying to get a police officer to the situation to calm him down or whatever it is, if they need to detain him, whatever it takes to make sure that he is okay. And this dispatch person just refuses.
She just failed at her job, bro.
Come on.
And I mean, come on, bro. I'm from the Mo, bro. And my family didn't grow up on no silver spoon. I didn't see myself be drunk off of light and dark. Yeah, I didn't see you drunk off of light and dark.
I didn't see myself plenty of times.
I mean, like,
we won't talk about that.
He's just intoxicated.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe that him being intoxicated, as they say, the drunk tongue don't tell lies; it tells the truth. I believe that maybe he really do need some mental health.
And you know what's so funny? When we was talking about this yesterday, I was trying to figure out like what you meant by maybe it's CTE. That's why I was like, man, what you mean he got CTE? But now that I'm listening to this call, he talking about he trying to hang himself. Yeah. What is really going on in Richard Sherman's psyche to make him want to kill himself? And he was still trying to play in the league this year. Like, what's going on personally in his mind? He just came off a season, and all of a sudden he wants to commit suicide. So, what is really going on so much as far as like, because I'm really, I really want to pray about this and reach out to Richard Sherman and hope that he's okay, because this is like really disturbing to me, because now it makes me feel like, do we not take this CTE thing seriously? Did we not learn anything from like Junior Seau or anything of that nature as far as like,
just
this is serious?
The mental health thing altogether. And this is another reason why I say I want the NFL to become more like the NBA. And even though I've seen some parts where the NBA struggle, like with Delonte West and things like that, I just want athletes all together to come together of all sports and help raise up other athletes as they struggle. I mean, because these kind of episodes are really ridiculous, man. Yeah. And for ESPN to say that, he's in jail for domestic violence, he got no bail. I mean, what did he really do to deserve no bail?
But now I realize why he didn't have a bail, because they're trying to protect him from himself. They're trying to wait till he calms down. That's why he didn't have a bail, because they're trying to figure out. And honestly, they should have played this first before they sit there and be like, domestic violence. Because he never touched Ashley Sherman at all. He was wrestling with the uncle because the uncle was trying to get him to calm down because he's trying to get to the car.
Yeah, and ESPN just from the jump, they should have just went ahead and said
they should know
he was intoxicated, or they should have said that he threatened himself or whatever. Just, I mean, why tell a lie? Just go ahead and tell the truth. What they should have said, he was detained for an altercation. Right, and that's the real truth. He was detained for an altercation. Don't sit there and say he's in jail. Yeah, don't do that. Don't try to ruin his career before it ends, because it could have ended on a high note. But now it's people gonna look at him now like, well, I don't know if we can take him now because he a mental case and all that kind of stuff. Don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that, man, ESPN. They messing up old man Sherman's career, bro.
Yeah, don't do that. Now I feel like they're not even gonna like apologize to the Sherman family for these false allegations that could probably really tarnish. These things could tarnish people's careers. Same thing like with AB. People don't understand how serious mental issues can affect a person's livelihood and just, affect their actual day-to-day. Don't do that. Please don't.
Yeah. I want to go from that topic to this topic. So I was on Facebook, and I was scrolling, and I seen this ad, and it said Houston Rockets mini camp for kids up to 13 or whatever.
Well, that's good.
And guess who they had on there that's supposed to be providing the camp?
James Harden?
Mo Taylor.
He lives out here, Maurice Taylor. Yeah,
I understand.
Remember we seen him that day in Hooters.
I understand that, but now you go ask a kid that's probably 15 and younger, who is Maurice Taylor? They don't know who Maurice Taylor is.
But they know he was in the NBA, so I feel like it's still okay. It's still a charitable cause. I'm not saying, but he can still bring Christian Wood in. He can still bring in other players.
Well, if that was the case, they should have said that it was provided by Christian Wood. And I thought about this.
You still heard about that time?
Yeah, I thought about this.
Hey, one time we went to a little draft party, and they made it seem like all NBA players are gonna be there for the Houston Rockets, and then we thinking like we finna meet Yao and T-Mac. We met Chandler Parsons.
I have no problem with that, but
which was cool. He was a rookie. We didn't know who he was.
Myself as a kid, going to Richmond.
Oh, you talking about the Reese Gaines?
And on two occasions, the first time it was an NFL player. He played for the Rams. They had him come in, do a presentation, and I think it was like career day or whatever, whoop-de-whoop.
That's cool.
And I thought about it, I was like, man, they got the white kids at their school. They getting Marshall Faulk, and we getting, who is this guy?
They got Marshall Faulk?
I'm just saying,
But you use that example. Okay, I'm like, damn, okay. I love me Marshall Faulk.
Me growing up in the early 2000s, I'm thinking, they said, oh, we got a player from the Rams. I'm thinking Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, somebody like that on that level.
And you get offensive lineman.
And
you don't even get Orlando Pace.
we get somebody nobody even knows. Matter of fact, he's a former St. Louis Ram at the time. So we had no idea who he was. And I guarantee if I was to remember who this guy was today, he probably not in the history books for anything. But I mean, I do like the fact that they did that, but I just feel like, man, like why can't in low income communities, why can't we get a better player to come make a better impression?
Well, maybe they just brought that player in because maybe he came from a low income environment and he just showing you if he can make it, anybody can.
Maybe. But to go off of that, it's like when I was in high school, we had Thurman Thomas come to the school.
But he went to Willow Ridge, so I respect that.
He went to Willow Ridge, but he didn't come in to leave no good message or nothing for us to take on into life or anything. He just came in, took a picture, he got a plaque or whatever, and left the school. So I feel like somebody...
He didn't give a speech or nothing?
Nothing. So I feel like somebody with that status should come in and give a speech and motivate students to go after their dreams and, to just push forward. That, to me, that's why I say I think all these athletes and things like that, they need to come together and help build up their communities and young athletes as well, all together.
And I always made me wonder, do athletes always give back once they leave? Or do they just stay where they at and just...
Some do, some don't. And I think that not only athletes and stuff, that goes for organizations in the area and all kind of things. They should, have people come in and give speeches to help people that's thinking about doing having a life as a doughboy versus having a life in corporate America, or seeing more people like himself in there.
I respect that. We don't have enough people in high places or people who understand the value of working hard. People always think like the only outlet is sports or rapping, and it's not. It's people like me and you who work hard and regular 9-to-5s every day, who put in the work, who went to school and did a variety of different things to make sure that they have a better life for themselves. We don't always have to take the easy way because not everybody can take it. Do you know how many people can actually make it to the NBA? It's not as big as you think.
Not many.
NFL as well. You see 53 roster spots on 32 teams, but trust me, it's millions of people who trying every day to get there.
And just to be in the NFL and have that platform, or the NBA and have that platform, I think the athletes, they have to do a much better job of reaching out and creating a brand to tie in everybody to motivate people.
I respect that.
So
I hope one day we can reach that.
Now, the best part about this podcast is, did you see Conor McGregor?
Hey, I saw it. Now, I will say this. Conor McGregor, I want you to have one last fight. And the reason why I don't want you to go out with a broken ankle, because what you've done for the sport of UFC is astronomical.
Wait, did y'all see the broken ankle? It was so nasty.
Together here. Oh, he missed. They both missed, didn't
he fell back on his own ankle.
Yeah, they both missed, right?
One of the most... Look at that. He actually broke his leg.
The winner by TKO, Dustin the Diamond.
Fractured on one of the checks at the beginning of the fight. Then it broke on a punch, yeah, for sure. When I pointed at him at the beginning of the fight, that's when I checked a good kick. I bet that's when it cracked. He was putting his fingers in my glove and pulling me down to throw the up kicks. I was trying to let Herb know that. This guy's a dirtbag, man. You don't talk like that.
Don't get me wrong. Dustin Poirier is a very good fighter. And, I give you props. You beat him. Hey, but I will say there should have been a doctor stoppage. But, hey, It's not my call.
It really should have, but
it's not my call.
According to Dustin Poirier, the guy's a dirtbag.
It is what it is. Hey, because if you think about it, even when he broke his ankle, he was still saying that dude was talking about the man's wife and everything. So don't get me wrong, Conor McGregor has the accolades to make it to the Hall of Fame. Right now, I see Conor McGregor as like this millennials of like maybe like I don't want to say like Chuck Liddell or Tito Ortiz or GSP, but he's up there as far as well-known and popular fighters.
These are Conor McGregor final words after this fight. After he broke,
I gotta hear this.
He said, "It's not over. If we have to take this outside, we'll do it."
On one leg.
After all that happened, that guy is a dirtbag. Like, come on, Conor McGregor.
But
I mean, and
he good for the sport of UFC.
Yeah,
he draws in the crowd. But I ain't gonna lie though, when was the last time Conor McGregor won a fight? What, when he fought Cerrone? That was his last win? That's not looking good. Cause let me tell you something. Hey, Dustin Poirier, he won 7 of his last 8 fights.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and to be honest,
it is what it is.
I think Conor McGregor at this point, he's just a showman. He's really his career is over.
He sells the UFC.
Yeah.
He does what no other fighter does. He sells the UFC.
Yeah, his career is
over. Like if you see, I don't think it's over.
No, it's over. And he's just good for promotion, bro.
But so I feel like if he has one more fight, I feel like honestly he needs to go out on top. He needs to fight somebody.
Who, he gonna fight a bum?
Well, I don't want him to fight a bum, but I want him to actually train this time. Because I feel like he didn't train for this fight. I can tell. He didn't train for this fight.
He trained.
No, he didn't.
He trained. He's just a bum.
He was sloppy.
Speaking of that, I think what McGregor should do next is actually take it to the exhibition level. Maybe he should go fight one of those brothers or whatever.
He's not gonna waste his time and fight Jake Paul, even though Jake Paul did call him out. Hey, Jake Paul got to need to worry about Tyron Woodley. That's what he need to worry about, because Tyron Woodley is gonna kill this dude. That is a professional fighter. I'm not talking about Nate Robinson. God, what was that?
Nate.
You let us down. You let us down, Nate.
Hey, when you seen Nate do this, you knew it was over, bro.
Yeah, and then Logan Paul just fought Mayweather, but I will give Logan Paul credit. I don't care what nobody says. Hey, he did what Conor McGregor didn't do. He lasted all the rounds. I don't care.
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
Logan Paul lasted all the rounds because that wasn't
a real boxing.
Hey, it don't matter. He was getting hit.
It wasn't real boxing.
Were you getting hit, Logan? You were. It's a real fight.
You know what? I know somebody who did get hit. By the name of Greg Hardy. Did you see that? Yeah.
Greg Hardy. Yeah. I had high hopes for you in the UFC. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You looking like CM Punk out there. Shit. You looking like CM Punk the last time he was in the octagon.
I bet I know someone who was happy. Remember his ex-wife?
Oh, that was dry. That was dry. Funny, but dry.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Hey, talking about karma, huh? What goes around comes around. But yours came around in a right cross, a left hook, an uppercut.
It came down on him too.
Yeah, it came down hard. Oh, wait till you see the clip. Ooh, wait till you see the clip.
That was horrible. So, with all that being said, people, I think we should go ahead and wrap up this show.
All right, it was a great show as always.
And it was our pleasure. And I thank you all for looking at our videos and checking out
thank you.
Our podcast.
We really appreciate it.
And I ask that you all subscribe. We got Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. You name it, we there. Don't forget about us.
And don't forget about my boy D-Raw's show on Tuesdays. It's just a recap of everything that we missed over the weekend. We'll see you next Thursday. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, and if you got any questions or you want to get at us on the show or anything like that, don't forget to leave comments or anything,
Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter. Hey, pretty soon we'll have a phone number. You can call us in live too. We'll have that all coming soon too. Thank you for watching.
Yep, thank you.